Hey guys, T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers review, and today I'm going to be looking at the various incarnations of Bumblebee. I was watching iSlipCocoliso's channel, and he had just recently done a review of the RTS Bumblebee, and he had mentioned everybody and their mother has done a Bumblebee review, and he hadn't. Well, neither have I, so I figured it was my turn to actually do this also. So I have here every incarnation of Classics through United Bumblebee that I own. I know I'm missing the Henkei. I'm probably not going to track them down at this point because I'm happy with these 5, and I'll get to that reason after. But here's a picture of the Henkei Bumblebee courtesy of Sabertron.com. So you can see he's basically just your yellow Bumblebee here without the white stripes, a gold chrome piece here, and that's pretty much it. It's not a bad incarnation of Bumblebee, and that is all the versions of Bumblebee that I know of, unless there's like an e-hobby or whatever. There was the BotCon Bug Bite, but these are your main releases, your retail releases, so aside from Henkei. So let's take a look at each one of them. I unfortunately don't have the jet ski for most of these. I have 2 of them here, the rest of them are all packed away. You've seen one of them, you've seen them all. So let's start with Classics. So Classics is a nice bright yellow. He's got some white detailing on there with the stripes. I kind of dig that. It's real nice. This is the one I just put on my shelf and use as Bumblebee. You can see I've got some repro labels on the back there, and that is your Classics Bumblebee. Now this one is of course Cliffjumper, the red repaint, and I really like the silver detailing here that they gave him. The non-transparent lights are a nice touch to make the front end look a little bit different. And you can see I've also got the repro labels on them. Now also, with this Cliffjumper, I've also got the Beelzeboss Devil Horns custom kit, which gives the custom head. That is on the bot right now. But it also gives the glass gas cannon, and then some kind of just regular pistol. I like to give this personally to my regular Bumblebee. So it's a nice kit, pretty nice box. We'll get to that a little bit later. This one is a Bumblebee that most people may not realize exists. It's from the Legacy of Bumblebee set. It was a Walmart exclusive. It came with this Bumblebee, the 2007 Camaro Bumblebee, and animated Bumblebee in a 3-pack. And it is identical in terms of paintwork as the Classics Bumblebee, except everything that's white is now black. The only thing that I feel is a minor annoyance, and I don't know if it's coming up on camera, you can kind of see it. This yellow piece here is definitely a different color than the rest of the body, but that may be as a result of the dark blue that it's painted on. Either way, this is probably one of my favorite incarnations of Classics Bumblebee. Also, here's his jet ski. We might as well show that right now. So the jet ski just kind of plugs right on the back and he can pull it around. It's not very amazing, nothing comes off of this, it just becomes like a jetpack of sorts. Here is the RTS Bumblebee, most recently released, and he's got his shield. Of course, he is an Autobot. We'll see if I can get the shield to work, probably. There we go, you can see it. And yeah, this one is awaiting, I should actually mention, these 2 are awaiting kits from Renderform to turn them into bumper and hubcap. He has released the heads, or at least pre-orders for the heads, in different colors. You could make this guy bumper if you so chose, and this guy hubcap. He does offer those various options. So this is going to be my bumper, this is going to be my hubcap. And you can see it's just actually more stripes similar to what was in the movie Bumblebee, just the 2 black stripes going all the way back. This is actually a pretty nice version of Bumblebee in terms of the paintwork. And finally, the last one I've got is United Bumblebee, who is sporting the Renderformer Goldscout kit. And it was this kit that sold me on getting bumper and hubcap when he released that pre-order. Now, unfortunately, this Bumblebee I'm not as big a fan of. Mine seems to have some kind of issues that things don't want to line up completely correctly, as if some plastic's warped. He's holding together really nicely now, but these panels like to pop off. The other thing is, being that he is a silver with a gold, well, a clear yellow top coat, you can see that from his previous owner, and probably not even that intentional, he's scratched here where the leg panels fold up. So that's kind of a bummer. Now mine's also modified with an RTS Bumblebee that I painted his inner pieces dark blue. Because with the Renderformer kit, we didn't need the standard gold Bumblebee head on this guy. I've also got the jet ski for him, and you can see it's just the yellow he's made out of, painted silver and white. And again, it just straps on the back there and becomes a jetpack later. So I'm only going to go ahead and do the transformation for one of these guys, and we'll get to the cut and get the other ones squared away real quick, and we'll go from there. So to transform this guy, it's real easy, and it's definitely one of my favorite classics molds because of it. You just kind of unpeg these sides here, and that's going to do his arms. Just kind of pull them down like this. Next thing to do is kind of drop his legs here and flip up these little hood panels. Now these can pop off really easy. All they are just kind of held on by 2 little nubs there that are holding it in place. I think on my Cliffjumper they fall off almost all the time. They just pop right back on real easy. Then unpeg his legs. You'll see that there is a peg where his knees are too. And what you can do is now take his seats and fold them on down, and then rotate the leg on upwards. And now you've formed his feet. We'll take his arms here, now that we have this, and just spin the tires on around to the inside. Real simple. And take the door, flip it to the other side of his arm, flip it over, and then peg these pegs into the little peg holes here to form the outside of his arm. You can see, I'll do that again. Now you've got his arms. Now, you do have to lift the back part where his jet ski connects to all the way up, and that'll let you flip this all the way down, and you'll see there's actually a little groove here that receives the body, well, the kind of like the spine area, and once that's there, it's going to be pretty solid. And then all you have to do now is flip his chest piece down, and you want to be careful with this chest piece because it does have a tendency to snap. I've seen plenty of cracked pieces, so don't be too forceful with it. Now on the front here there's this slot, and on the top there's the tab, so it's going to come down, and then you just want to kind of push where his shield is going to be down onto the tab. Just don't do it too hard. Then finally bring his head. There's the little slot right there, and you bring that down, and there you go, and you've got Bumblebee. So I might as well take his jet ski trailer and show you. This splits like that. Everything here flips around, so you're gonna have something kind of like this when it's open. You just kind of have to turn the jet ski a little, and now you flip these forward, And what this actually does is, you'll see on the back of Bumblebee, there's that little tab there. You slide this on into the spot between Bumblebee's head and his back, and as you push it down, the jet ski will actually grip that little tab, and it makes just a strange little jetpack. It's really not all that interesting. I prefer to have it off. So, but regardless, there it is. So let's take that off. I'm not going to use that anymore. So let me go ahead and get the, well, you know what, let's just do articulation real quick. So articulation on this guy is actually really good. He's got full range of movement on his arm, in and out, elbows on a ball joint. I like that. No wrist rotation. Head, again, on a ball joint. He can look up, down a little bit. Nice. He's got hips that are on a ball joint for a pretty good range of motion. You can only get about that far due to the limit of the windshield. Knee, and due to transformation you can rotate his foot a little. Overall, it's not necessarily the best articulation I've ever seen, but it certainly is pretty good. So let's cut now, and I'll get the other guys into their robot modes and we can take a look at all of them. Okay, so here's my boatload of bees, and as you can see, here is the classic version. Now I've gone ahead and actually shaved off his chin thing, just because in the cartoon he didn't have it. The little chin bump only came, I guess, more recently in the comics, so I removed that from mine when I first got him, however many years ago. So, pretty good. I personally like this one as my choice Bumblebee. We'll move on to Cliffjumper now with the Beelzeboss kit. You can see that my Classics Bumblebee was sporting that pistol. He's got that big, huge cannon now, and a very nice Cliffjumper looking face there. It does have light piping, but blue never seems to work very well. So, nice classic head though. If you don't have the kit, then it's just a red Bumblebee face, and that's disappointing. But hey, that was 2006 or something, Hasbro, before they started making alternate heads for people. Let's go to the Renderform Goldscout. As you can see, because of my blue details, he looks a bit nicer there instead of having black. My only complaint with this is that the head is really loose on the ball joint. Now, inside the Renderform box, you also get a solid blue visor. You can see mine's a transparent blue, and you can take things apart. You do have to be a little bit careful though with this guy, as, let me see if I can get it here. Let's use the gold Bumblebee head. This visor can just kind of fall out if you're not careful. I've had it fall out a couple times. And he actually has eyes underneath there, so you can display him with his eyes, or you can put the visor back in, which is a pretty cool touch, but does leave a little itty bitty piece that is easy to lose and can be difficult to get in at times. There we go. Back to the visored mode. I like that. Now the head wobbliness, that can all be fixed with just a little bit of clear nail polish underneath. So I definitely like the Renderform kit, and this actually sold me on picking up the kit for these two. Now, you can get a Beelzeboss kit for this guy. I don't know if it's worth it. It's kind of hard to track this particular mold down anymore, the United version. And I guess that's up to you if you really want that kit with this. I don't think the kit looks as good with these guys. I did initially put this head on this body, and I just wasn't happy with the end result. Too much black. So I tracked down the United version. Here's the RTS. using a Goldscout gun from Renderform. And this one's actually a pretty good incarnation of Bumblebee if you don't have the Classics one. The yellow, it's more orangey yellow, but it's still acceptable. And I do like this as Bumblebee too. And finally, like I said, my personal favorite, the Legend of Bumblebee set. Also looking pretty nice. I did want to note, and I forgot to note, that you can kind of alter the looks of these guys a little bit if you want to by taking the back wing off, and I may do that on some of these just to differentiate the alt mode just a tiny bit. I know Fans Project did a Cliffjumper kit, which is almost impossible to get a hold of unless you want to spend ridiculous amounts of money for some pieces. And I like that kit because it does add some bumper stuff, so I kind of wish someone would add some of that stuff, especially with the upcoming kits. I'd love to see an add-on bumper that makes this all black and stuff like that. But, oh well, what can you do? So, this is T2RX6, and this is a variety of Bumblebee molds. Again, Classics Cliffjumper, Legends of Bumblebee, RTS, and united with the Renderform Goldscout head. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.